Mr. C's Cooking Experiment, Episode 5. Today we're going to be doing something with duck. I like to call it a sampling of duck. We're going to have a steamed duck dumpling, a duck sushi roll that's done with duck confit, a duck breast that's done with blood orange confit as well. It's a very, very versatile dish, and I think you're really going to enjoy it. Don't forget to press the red button right down there that says subscribe. I'd love to have you on the list. And without further ado, let's get on to this duck dish. Okay, let's start with the duck dumplings. What we did was, we took one of the duck legs, we skinned it, reserved the skin, which I'll tell you about a little bit later. We deboned it, and then we cut it into smaller pieces. Then we puree it with, I don't know if you can see that, a little soy sauce and about a quarter cup of scallions. All right, you make a puree out of that. You're going to be needing your dumpling wrappers. Get in the Oriental store, round gyoza wrappers, and here's your mix. So what we're going to do is we're going to make little dumpling purses. Now what you're going to notice about this recipe, and a lot of other recipes I've done previously, is that they make more than you actually need for your dish. So when I said it's a very versatile dish, I meant you could literally turn around and make a whole appetizer plate out of this dumpling mix alone. So we're going to put a little bit of the mix in the center of each one of these. When we deboned that leg, we took a lot of the sinew out, which is like a lot of the stringy pieces as well, because it makes it a lot easier to work with when you're making the dumplings as well. So, very quickly, fold once, fold twice, and then put it all together, little purse like that. And as you can see, I didn't have to use a lot in here because you don't really need a lot to fill into this wrapper. And then we have a steamer on the stove. We use a bamboo steamer to steam these. I steam them for about 10 minutes. And then you can hold them in that steamer until you're ready to plate as well. So, put them in on the stove. That is the first part of this dish. Okay, the next part of our dish to be started would be the duck breast. Duck breast has a very thick skin, so what I did was I cut some incisions in there so that when it cooks, it doesn't curl up. Sometimes when you do things with skin on them, such as fish or something like this, it would curl up, and that would be so we can slice it a lot more evenly. So this is just simply done with some Himalayan pink salt, some black pepper, both sides. And here's the key to doing this duck breast. This duck breast or any other duck breast, you really do need to start it in a cold pan. That will help the fat be rendered from the skin itself. Obviously you're going to start skin down, and then it will be able to cook and get a nice crispy skin. So when this is finished, you'll see that it's going to be nice and brown, and then we're going to serve it medium rare, medium on the plate. Rest here on the skin itself. The skin is nice and crispy, and now we'll flip it over. As you can see, it is nice and brown. Now we'll cook this to a medium rare and let it rest for about 10 minutes, and then we'll slice it for the plate presentation. Okay, one of the last parts of our dish is probably the most involved part there is. and that is the duck sushi bomb. I've made some sushi rice here. Follow the instructions on the sushi rice package. Normally it's 1 to 1.5, so 1 cup of rice to 1.5 cups of stock. And then you can season it with sugar and vinegar to your liking. I did a little bit of apple cider vinegar and sugar in mine, and I don't like mine too sweet, but the duck is very sweet in this dish as it is. Inside the sushi we're going to do red pepper strips, cucumber strip, and duck confit. You're going to need your nori wrappers as well. I use organic sushi nori. And you're going to need something to roll it with. So the duck confit, we're going to put up a series of still photos here because we took the last leg of the duck along with all the skin and we rendered it in a pot. And then we put in fresh sprigs of thyme, whole garlic cloves, and the duck leg. And then we simmered that in that fat for 4 hours. And then we picked the leg clean and we tried to keep it into chunks like this that will roll very well with the sushi. So here, we're just going to demonstrate a roll here for you. So on these nori wrappers, when you use them, if you've never used them before, you'll notice there are little lines on them that indicate the way you're supposed to roll them. So I'm not sure you can quite see it on film, but they're kind of perforated, so kind of show you where to cut them when you do finish the roll. So we're going to put our rice in here, and you notice I used gloves as well. It's just for me easier handling this rice this way. Okay. They are a little bit wet as well. Okay, and frankly, we're going to fill this all the way up, about 3/4 of the way. Right. Like so. All the bases covered here. We are going to end up cutting the ends off, and I'll show you what I mean when we're done rolling this one. It's nice to have a nice, flat, even amount of rice there. I will suggest when you are going to do sushi or any kind of long grain rice that you do rinse it. The recipe does say it's optional. I think that it works. All that extra starch coming out really makes it much easier when it's finished cooking to work with. So, put some red pepper in there. Now we'll put our duck. This whole entire dish that I'm making today does make 4 dishes, just so you know, just to give you an idea. So each sushi roll, okay, will make 2 portions per. So you're going to roll it over here, and then you're going to kind of, you can see, I'm kind of using my fingers to crimp it in there like that, right? And I have a brush with water so that when I do finally roll it all the way over, it will seal. Yes? So, like that. As you can see, there you have a sushi roll. What we do is cut this off at the ends here. Try to make this even, because with the presentation that we're going to use, presentation is going to need a flat bottom for one piece of it. So that goes to the side. And as you can see, there's there's a sushi roll. Now, we're going to set that to the side. And we're going to make the batter. Now, the batter itself, 10 ounces of flour, 1 ounce of baking powder, 1 ounce of cornstarch, 1 tablespoon of salt, and about 3 ounces of sparkling water. I will tell you this, you put it in if you need a little bit more, you put more in. But this tempura batter works very well. And what we're going to do is we're going to coat that sushi roll with this batter, deep fry it, and I think you're going to like the results when it comes out. So as you might be able to see, it does ribbon in there. That is the consistency that you want when you're going to make this batter. All right, so we're going to go to the fryer and we're going to fry this thing. Okay, so now we're ready to plate our dish. Just for information, the whole sushi roll does get battered and deep fried, like so. And then we cut it into pieces like this, which is on an angle, like so, and like this. And let me turn this a little bit better so you can see it, like that. Right? Then the next thing we're going to put here is the blood orange confit. Spread that around like that. A bit more. Right. And we have our medium duck right there. Came out very nicely. Now, in this little dish here, we're going to put some wasabi aioli, like so. And if you might recall, I told you we did the duck confit with whole cloves of garlic. We're going to take one of those cloves of garlic, put it in there like so. Dumplings, they are done as well. Put one right in there with that, so it's got a little garlic surprise there at the end. Right, we'll do a little bit more of our garnish here. Can't have duck with a little cara orange, which is a cross between a grapefruit and an orange. Quite tasty. Put a sprig of beet sprouts here as well. Center. Finish that. A sprig of fennel. Last but not least, we're going to do a little bit of chive oil around the plate. Give it a little bit of a pop. And there you have the sampling of duck. I hope you enjoy it. Okay, so there you have it. A sampling of duck. I really love doing dishes like this because you can be as creative as you want and use as many different things and flavors that combine very well that, you know, it just ends up being a dish that everybody enjoys. As I said from the very beginning, you have 3 different components like the sushi or the dumplings or even the duck breast with the blood orange confit, where you could separate all 3 of them and make 3 separate dishes out of them. But I decided I'd put them all on one dish and marry them, and I think they really do well together. You know, I was asked once about culinary arts and what it meant to me, and I said, well, you have to take the word art and break it down to, you know, you have a canvas where you can use paint different colors or drawing with colored pencils, and artists do many, many different things. For a chef, our canvas is the plate. So we start with a blank canvas and then we start building on it. So this is really what I enjoyed about doing this dish. Hopefully you're going to enjoy it when you do it. Next time, on the next episode, I think we're going to do something with fish. So until that time, be well, eat well. Thanks for watching.